you for tuning in. My name is Mary Losito, and this is Math 7 Virtual Open House with Miss Losito. So I teach two different classes here at Ray Middle School. The first is my co-taught class with Mrs. Hallinan. Those are periods 1 and 3. And then I also teach an accelerated Math 7 with lab on every other day. I have those classes period 6, 7. 8, 9 is the lab, so that's the one that alternates every other day, and then period 10. So a typical day in my class is we start with a warm-up. As students come in, the warm-up is at their desk. They are completing the warm-up as I am checking their homework. It is important to note that homework is checked on completeness, not correctness. It must be completely filled out with work shown to get full credit. I provide the answers for students on Google Classroom as a tool for them to be able to check and, work backwards if they need to. So just having answers does not suffice. This is so important for students to get that practice in. After I check homework and students complete the warm up, we will go over that. We'll go over last night's homework assignment. We'll go over the warm up. We'll go over, common mistakes, questions that people have. We'll talk about what we did last class and connect it to what we are doing on that today's class, and probably take notes. A lot of our classes, we take notes. We have practice embedded within the notes. So there's examples that I do with them, and then they do you tries, and I walk around and help and support however I can. There's also activities that we'll do in class. I'm big on playing games in class to review, and always, always, always expect homework. Homework is so important in math. As I said, the answers are provided on Google Classroom, and if for whatever reason students are struggling, I highly recommend getting extra help. Grading policy. Our grading policy as a math department is broken up into two sections: our formative assessments and our summative assessments. Now, the formative is half of their grade, and the purpose is to provide feedback. So, homework, which is 10% of their grade, the purpose of doing that is so that we can make sure we're doing it correctly. It's okay to make mistakes. I don't expect it to be perfect. That's where I'm providing feedback. That's why we go over what we don't understand. That's why I provide the answers. Quizzes, which may or may not be on Google Forms, depending on if we're going paperless or not, are 40% of students' grades. Again, the purpose is to provide feedback. We want to make sure students understand before taking their unit test. Where the unit tests, you'll see at the bottom there, are the summative assessments where they are supposed to show mastery. You can expect a unit test at the end of every single unit, and 1 to 2, maybe even 3 quizzes in a unit, depending on how long it is. Extra help availability. As I said, I highly recommend getting extra help. Some topics are going to, be a little bit more challenging depending on, the way our brain works. I am available every single day in school, 4th period. I have my ECL, which is my extended core lab during that time. Some students have ECL 4th period. They are even in my room, and I can help them individually. Others do not. They may have an ECL a different period or a study hall a different period. That is also time for them to potentially get extra help. It just may not be from me. After school, we have the AAA, which is our academic after school academy. I highly recommend, if students are available Tuesday, Wednesdays, or Thursdays, they can stay after in the library and get help with math teachers here at Ray Middle School. There is a late bus, or they can be picked up. If students are home and they're getting super frustrated, they are always welcome to email me. I love getting emails from students. Totally makes my night. Google Classroom. If you are absent, and especially in the world of COVID when we have to quarantine, check Google Classroom. I will be posting for my students that I know that are out. I put Edpuzzle videos on there so they don't miss the notes and they can get the lesson for that day. Again, as I mentioned, those homework answers are up on Google Classroom. I will put on links for additional resources if I feel like, people want extra help or support on certain topics. There is a grading section on Google Classroom. That is not where I am keeping grades for our class. Grades will be represented on School Tool. Okay, so if you see, a bunch of grades where you're like, where is this coming from? I do not grade on Google Classroom, it will be on School Tool. The Math 7 curriculum, those first 12 units are Math 7. And then if your student is in accelerated math, they will also go to the 20 units that are listed there. That is from the 8th grade curriculum in order to get our students ready for Algebra 1 in 9th grade. Wait, 8th grade, but it's typically taken in 9th grade. Here's my contact information. My email, mlosito@bville.org. That is the school phone number. Feel free to call me, email me. I would recommend email, and then we can set up a time to talk if you would like to talk over the phone. I am all about communication and keeping an open dialogue. All I want is to see your student be successful and to help them the best that I can. Thank you so much for watching. If you need anything, please reach out, and let's have a great year. Thank you. Bye.